Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I want to say we have a thief amongst us. Well, it was dinner time, and I had a couple of Johnsonville cheddar brats on a plate. I ate one of them. The lady came up to ask about some wood, so I put the other one down in a safe place, I thought. Came back to a empty plate and a smiling dog. He ate the whole brat, bun and all. Probably ate it in one bite too, but anyway. Yep, got a thief amongst us. And he was not sad about it at all. No remorse made whatsoever. He just smiled. So let's go on this video. We're going to show you some lost and found here in the campsite. And also we'll do some campfire tales. Right? No more hot dogs for you. I'm just going to show you some lost and found so far this season. Got Zen listed under the picnic table, but I find all kinds of things, especially being on the lake. This is full of fishing lures and bait and different things. Look at there. What is that? Fraybill fishing net. Found this the other day laying down on the beach. Been here for about 3 days. So all the stuff that I find, I sit around here for a while before I either give it to somebody or I use it myself. So, you know, I don't want to use it too quick and then somebody says, hey, you're using my fishing net or using this. Well, what's it else? Oh, somebody left this the other day. This is a propane grill, Weber propane grill. Hook the bottle up right here. It's in not bad shape. It's been here for about a week and nobody's coming to get it yet. And just pretty simple. It needs to be cleaned out. So my intention is if somebody doesn't get this, you know, within 30 days or something, when I get the bus back, I'm going to clean it out and I'll be using it because I can use a little grill like this. It'd be kind of handy for, you know, cooking chicken, hot dogs, cheddar brats that the dog will eat. You know, you got and a few things like that. So, oh, what else? We got this. This was left behind. 7-person, what is this? 7-person teepee tent is left here too. Been here 3 weeks now, I think. So, and most likely when somebody leaves something back here, they're not coming back to get it because they're probably from out of state or they're passing through. But yeah, we've got this. Got a tent, got a grill, got a fishing net, got fishing lures and different things. And see what else we might be here. Oh, I want to show you over here real quick. Look what I replaced. I had another one of these. You know, my awning shredded to pieces. Look here. Got 2 now. This is the blue one I had from last season that was found in the dumpster. And this green and tan one, which is, you know, kind of like my bus color. Somebody left here the other day. They came up and said, hey, you know, people had campers. They were camped here last year, so I kind of knew from last year. And they said, our canopy blew over down on the beach and broke, and we can't use it anymore. Do you want it? And I said, what's wrong with it? They said, well, it broke a couple of the rods inside. And I said, you know me, people. Sure, I'll take it. So I did. And I did a little work on it yesterday. Replaced, let me see what I can find in here. I replaced one of these rods. One of these corner rods was broken. I think that one right over there. That one there was broken in half. So I went down into the storeroom and I have a whole mess of these rods in different lengths, different colors from all the previous damaged canopies. So I just took it out and drilled a couple holes that needed to be there and got a working canopy again. And the nice thing is, if something happens to it, I'm not out any money because, like I said, these were given or found or something. But yeah, that's so far as the lost and found. Oh, let's see here. Yep, I think that's all I've got so far. Last year I had about the same. I had a few more things because somebody left me all their equipment out of a camper when they left because they had to go turn it into a rental agency. So I had a grill and barbecue and water and food and utensils and blankets and pillows and towels and everything. I still have some of that in the bus. And I'll be glad when the bus gets back. So let's go on here and we'll talk about some campfire stories. Now we're going to talk about some campfire stories. But first, I think I'll do a campfire. It's getting about an hour or so from 2 hours. And we're going to start this up and see what we can get to burn here. I always need a good, if you're going to campfire, if you want to have campfire stories, let's see what happens. Wood's a little damp. We had a light rain this afternoon for the last about 10 minutes, but it wasn't bad. Let's see if this is going to burn. I think it is. Paper and cardboard and a few sticks of wood. Yep, I think it'll work. But we're going to talk campfire stories. Now we're not going to discuss campfire stories talking about Sasquatch or bears or wild animals or strange noises in the dark. This campfire story is going to be about an actual campfire. I want to go over a few things. As a camp host, we go around and we maintain the campground. Even today, I went around, had 2 fires that were smoldering, so water all them all down, break them down, make sure they're good to go. And it's always seemed like every day when somebody leaves, there's usually at least one campfire that's smoking, smoldering, and sometimes even burning live. So it's our job to put them out if the campers don't put them out. So I want to tell you a story about a camp space right up there, up on top of the hill. That was just a couple weeks back. We had a family up there. This was Father's Day weekend, I think what it was. It was Father's Day weekend, so we were packed. We were full, and there was a group of family up there, maybe 6 or 8 of them, and they had a campfire. Well, they were here for 3 days, so no big deal. But they got ready to leave on Sunday. Sunday was their checkout time, and I looked up there and I saw this ginormous plume of smoke just coming up out of the trees, and boy, it catches my eye like, oh, is that a campfire or is that a tree on fire? And I watched it for a little bit, and then another big old plume of smoke came up. And usually you can tell whenever you see a campfire that the color of the smoke is usually like either it's burning fuel or it's getting put out. So this one was, they were putting water on this campfire, so which is what they're supposed to do. So after they left, I went up there and just shaking my head like, what in the world? This is a true story. I went up there, and this fire ring right here is the bottom of the campfire. They had coals and pieces of wood this high above the fire ring, just a massive pile of them. And it was super hot, and they were still burning. And I'm just going like, what in the world? And I know they put water on it because I saw the water go, the smoke come from it. So I went over and I grabbed a bucket out of the golf cart. Let me get my bucket. Four-gallon bucket. I put 3 of these full of water on the campfire. And it was still smoking and hot. And ashes all over the place. And it was a fire hazard, everybody. It was a fire hazard. So I kind of came down the hill and I got my water hose and I took it up there, hooked it up to the faucet, and I just floated everything in the fire ring because it was just still super hot after 12 gallons of water that I poured on it and the water they poured on it, because it was massive. And it was scary. I mean, to see all the coals ran everywhere. I just took the water hose and I just sprayed the entire camping area, the wood, the seed, the dirt, the grass, all around it, just in case. Well, I went back up after, the fire was cooled off, and we need to clean out the campfire pit. And this is what I use. If we got a couple metal buckets, and I took 5. I got 25 gallons of ash and wood pieces out of the fire thing just to get down to where the gravel was. That's how much stuff was in it. So that's the campfire story. That was an accident waiting to happen. And, like, goodness gracious, that's way too much coals and wood inside of a campfire. And I'm sure it wasn't burning any good because there was so much just sediment from all the other wood in it. But yeah, that was one of the campfire stories. That was a scary one. I've had a few, and the other campfires, camp hosts have too. The guy down the road came up with the pictures. Somebody had a big log about this big, and it was outside of the camp ring burning when he went down there. And there was a fire was in here, and the big log was out here burning in the grass. They don't have concrete down there, so they have grass and dirt, and it was burning, and it was scary. Yeah, that could catch something on fire. It's a forest fire waiting to happen. But I did last year when I was here. I went through, and I was under the impression that from what the boss and my bosses and his wife and administrator said, is that you need to clean out the campfire rings. So I went in and I cleaned out every campfire ring. I took out all the ashes, all the chunks of wood and anything else. And then I also took out all the wood that was piled around, because I took all the wood. Because I thought that's what we're supposed to do. Well, this year they said, oh, it's okay to leave some ashes in there as long as they're not up past there's little air holes on the side. As long as your ashes aren't past these air holes on the side, and you can leave some wood along, as long as it's wood that is small enough to fit inside the fire ring. Well, last year I took everything. So I had wood stacked up, I don't know, all the way across. It must have been 20 feet across, this thing of stacked wood, of just wood I was collecting from the fire pits. This year I don't have as much, because I'm actually leaving the wood that's burnable and small enough. I'm leaving it at the campfires, at the campgrounds, campsites for the campers to use. And so what I have back here is just basically stuff that I'm going to show you here in a minute, what has been drug in here and tried to be set on fire. So yeah, fire's burning okay. It's kind of small. I don't need a big fire. It's a little cool, but a little warm too. But yeah, let's get on and I'll show you the wood that people bring in to burn, or drag down to burn. And here's some of the wood I have. This piece was left over here from last year. And this is the wood that, a lot of this is something I've cut up already because it was way too big, and I split when I had my axe. I have an axe in the bus, but not up here with me. So I split some of that and made it smaller. And over here is the big stuff. You can see down here, up there, these are logs, and they're probably 8-9 feet long, some of them, that campers have just laid over the top of the fire ring, or laid into it with the end of it sticking out, which is very dangerous, because when something gives way, that thing's going to flip out and roll around and burn something. So yeah, this was the big chunk here that somebody left. They brought up from somewhere. I think they brought it from home, because we don't have that kind of wood up here. And I want to show you one other thing over here. This is my anchor. I found this at a campsite. A matter of fact, it was the same campsite where that big, humongous fire pit was at. Look at that. That is a weight. That is, I guarantee, a minimum of 50 pounds. It's nothing but knots and branches and heavy, heavy. I'm using it as a footrest, as a little table, and also as an anchor for my canopy, because it is that I can't even move with one hand. And they brought that up to burn in the fire. That would have taken 3 weeks to burn in a fire. So that's just some campfire stories. So I want to say thanks everybody for watching this short video on just stuff around the campground, campfires, lost and found, and a food thief in my presence. But yeah, so thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys up on the next one. So we'll see you guys on around the campground.